Alright guys, welcome back. So, Nintendo E3, we got a lot of news, and one of them, sequel to Breath of the Wild. So, I watched the trailer. When it first came out, I was like, is this Legend of Zelda? I didn't want to get my hopes up. I'm like, alright, let's keep on. Is this a sequel to Breath of the Wild? And then it get to a point in the video and you're like, oh, okay, definitely. So, what I wanted to today, kind of do like a quick little overview of the trailer, and from there, try to guess what the story is going to be and the type of gameplay. So let's try to figure that out. Okay, so right off the bat, when they showed the trailer, I was kind of like, all right, what's this green stuff? We'll kind of skip quickly over that. So when they were showing this, I was like, all right, not really sure what this teaser is. And I was like, okay, and then it got to this point, I'm like, is that Legend of Zelda? That kind of looks like the purple stuff from Legend of Zelda. I was like, all right, maybe. And then they show you this, and they show like this guy on a horse riding, and it made me think of the, the scroll, they show for the game, this old story of the past. And then we get to this figure right here. And I was like, all right, yep, definitely Legend of Zelda. That's Link. I mean, that's Zelda. And I was like, okay, sweet. So right off the bat, we have Link and Zelda discovering something. From here, I can't really tell what the story's going to be. But then there's this rat. And I like how they just sacrificed the rat. So I'm wondering if the thought of the next game is that this stuff leaking out is going to devour certain creatures in Hyrule and then turn them evil. So I'm thinking that like the next group of evil creatures are going to be, maybe different than the last game. So not just all the same villains are going to be back. I'm thinking that this is going to turn other creatures from the game into new monsters of some sort to fight. I don't know. That's what it kind of seems like. Because why else have a rat or mouse running around in a cave for your video and then show him getting devoured? So I'm thinking that this evil, I'm thinking like this is the essence of evil that has attacked the world since the dawn of time. So I'm thinking that this evil is going to come into contact with the animals of Hyrule and going to turn them into new beasts to destroy. And then we have them looking upon something. I think they're reading something and she's translating, because in the first Breath of the Wild, Zelda was kind of studying about unlocking powers and magic and stuff like that. So I feel like this is more about her, and then Link is kind of like just guarding her. Because Link's basically the bronze, and she's the brains. Okay, and then we get this creature, this guy, and they start showing, very slowly, what is this? Who is this guy? He looks like he's been there for a long time. And it's kind of hard to tell. You got this hand, and is it bringing this creature alive, or is this creature absorbing stuff from the hand? We're not really sure. So as it goes on, we kind of get this, Link's losing something from his hand. Zelda's fallen. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that is Ganon. Ganondorf, whoever you want to call him. And then because Link and Zelda show up in the same room, the three Triforces are there, is what I'm thinking. Like the Triforce of Wisdom, Power, because, a lot of times you see it on their hand, right? So I'm thinking that because they entered together, now all three are there. And somehow that is unlocking the power to release this guy, Ganon, as we think. And we see the hand grabbing Link's hand after we see Link grabbing Zelda's hand. So is it helping, or is it trying to absorb the powers from Link? So I'm thinking this is what's going to make it so that Link doesn't have any of his hearts anymore. He doesn't have the Master Sword. It's all drained. He's basically back down to being weak. And I think that's what is going to involve what Zelda's going to have to do in this game. So instead of Zelda being captured, I think she's going to be separated from Link. And now we get this creepy scene where they show the shadow of the creature. And then here it goes. She falls. The hand is waking up. And now we have Ganon's awake. So, I mean, obviously he has to be Ganon, right? I love how he has vampire teeth, basically. So this is where I'm thinking that the whole story is... This is my wild thought now. Okay, so Ganon is the first hero ever, right? He actually sacrifices himself to block the evil that escapes from this temple that he's in of some sort, or cave or cavern. And because of that, a side effect to it was that, yes, he stopped all evil from coming onto the world, but now a little evil leaks in every generation. And that little evil has cursed him to be reincarnated every generation and be the evil that he meant to stop. So it's not the full evil, but he's slowly stopping all the evil from coming in all at once. And because of that, he becomes from the hero to the villain. And to balance that, we have Link and Zelda, who are basically reincarnated in different versions throughout history. But now that they've all entered the cave once again that they probably weren't meant to do, he's lost the battle, and now all evil is coming in from him again. And now he's, instead of protecting the evil, he is the evil itself, and he's going to escape through Hyrule. Kind of along that lines. We need some fresher points to break it out, but, you know, that's where I think we're going. And obviously, so now we learn that Ganondorf was actually the greatest hero of all time at the beginning of the world, stopping the evil to only then be reincarnated every once in a while as the evil, to now being unreleased from his job of guarding it back and totally being just consumed over the generations of the evil. So, he's back to being the villain. So yeah, we get these creepy eyes. Okay. And then we see this. It looks like the castle is going to be raising out of the sky. And I don't know if that means that maybe Hyrule is going to a different land. Or not Hyrule, but the Hyrule Castle is going to a different land, and we won't actually be in the place of Hyrule. But, so it says now in development, so I think we're a couple years away. Unfortunately, we thought, being a sequel would be a little bit quicker. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so now the castle's leaving. I don't know if that's going to bring the dungeon, because we assume the temple or whatever cave system that they're exploring is underneath Hyrule. I'm hoping that that's not the case. It would make sense. You'd probably build your castle on top so no one can enter there and undisturb Ganon from doing his job stopping the evil entirely. So what I'm thinking is, when that evil comes out now and it spreads across Hyrule, it's going to change things. I'm hoping that not just the castle lifts up, but other things start to come out of the ground and appear from long ago, which changes, the environment. It would be also cool if that darkness spreads across the world and, changes certain things. Like, maybe the desert becomes a little bit more cold and the cold areas start to melt, exposing, new places, or an earthquake happens because of this and mountains start to crack and expose new areas. So that way you can explore all of Hyrule again and it feels a little bit different and you want to know what that next thing is. Because when I played the first one, my favorite part was, alright, what's around this corner? What's around this corner? I don't think I'd have that same feeling if I'm just exploring the same thing. So hopefully it's been a couple years. New cities are up, new towns, new explorers, new things have been discovered, and maybe the castle lifting out creates earthquakes that shatter open new parts, mountains reveal. So that way it feels like a familiar place with all new things to look. So let's get into gameplay. So I'm thinking that the hand sucked out all of Link's powers. So now he's back to his 3 hearts, no powers. He must go out and battle and find those things. But he needs the magic. And I think Legend of Zelda, who fell and is lost to Link right now, is still down in the temple. And she can't get back up. So she has to do her job to explore and discover, maybe ancient texts down there that will allow her to help Link gain the power back to the Master Sword. So sometimes in the game, I hope you get to play as Zelda exploring that temple And there's no creatures. It's abandoned. It's whatever. It's all puzzle solving for her. So she has to go push things around, move things, learn. She gets sequences where she learns these new powers of magic that she can help give to Link. So as she unlocks things in puzzles, Link gains his powers. So when he go into dungeons, he has his puzzles in dungeons and fights things. She has her puzzles and learning new abilities for Link down there. So I'm kind of hoping it's kind of a little bit of co-op, or not co-op, but at least you get to go back and forth between the characters when the time is needed. That would be cool. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. Ganon's the not hoping, but I think that'd be kind of a cool concept. Ganon's the original hero who had to lock away the evil, and because of that, he was cursed with coming back to life every few generations and being that evil, but he still stopped the big evil. But now that they all entered and all the Triforce is back at one, it shatters the shield somehow, letting all the evil escape back in the world, and now Ganon is back, but as a villain, not a hero again. And they lose their powers. She has to go solve some puzzles inside the temple to regain that, while Link explores to gain new artifacts to battle this new evil. Alright, so that's kind of my little theory, and I can't wait. I kind of wish it was coming out sooner, but by the time this gets done, we'll be at 4 years, probably 2021. I guess that's not too long, but I wish it was more of a 3-year, like next year. But hey, all right, guys, let me know what your theories are, what you think the game could be alluding to. And do you hope that it re-changes Hyrule, or if the castle is actually floating away and go into maybe some of the outer bound places that we couldn't get to the first time in the game, and maybe we can explore 2 areas. Hyrule that's been changed a little bit, and maybe your boat can bring you across the waters to another island system that we didn't know about before. Alright guys, have a good night, keep on gaming. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good night.